Hello world, my name is Woodrow Willis, and sitting next to me is
Tiberius Jones.
And we're coming to you live from Mom's Universe. And we just saw the movie Black Panther, and we got a couple things we want to say about it.
I just wanna say thank you, yeah. I wanna say, I just wanna say thank you, yeah. I wanna say, I just wanna say thank you, yeah. I wanna say thank you, yeah. I wanna say, my life.
So Tiberius, we just saw Black Panther, and man, that movie was chock full of just goodness. Now there's a lot, first of all, it's a big ensemble cast. I mean, there's a lot of people in this movie. And there was, Black Panther, as far as getting on the big screen, it took a long time to get here. There's a lot of reasons for that. And so we're gonna talk about a lot of different things. We're gonna kind of jump all over the place. We even got, we usually don't use notes, but we even got some notes that we might refer to from time to time. So please bear with us as we do that. So first thing, Tiberius, let's talk about some of the actors in it.
First off, I'm going to start off with Michael B. Jordan, who is one of the villains in the movie. He plays Eric Killmonger. And I thought he brought his A game, but there were parts where his line delivery wasn't that strong. But overall, he was a really good villain. And there were moments where he's doing this thing where he's being evil, and you're like, oh man, he's really intense in this scene. He's selling it, and you're like, man, because you know Michael B. Jordan has never played a villain before, so this is pretty cool to see him be a villain, and he's selling it. It's like, man, he's threatening, he's intense, and he looks pretty creepy in scenes. Like, you're like, oh shit, he's really, you know, the emotion in his face, he's selling it. So I thought that was really cool. I'm a big fan of Michael B. Jordan, you know, from Creed and Fruitvale Station, which he's been in. So, and a bunch of other movies, but those two in particular. So Michael B. Jordan, I thought he did a fantastic job. So the next person who I thought was just like really good, who I've never seen before, Winston Duke, who played Baku. And that dude, man, he's such a great actor. You know, he's intense and threatening, but he's also comedic. There were parts of the film where he had, you know, comedic undertones.
You do not speak.
Yeah, comedic undertones to his character. So that was pretty cool. And I'm not gonna give it away, but there's a moment when he shows back up, and you're like, oh man, you're just like, man, freaking amazing. When he pops it back on screen, you're like, hell yeah. So that's pretty cool. I like him, Baku. Letitia Wright, Shuri, his sister, she was just freaking funny, man. She brought her A game. She's I never seen her before either. This is the first movie I've seen her in. Well, I'll take that back. She was in what's the name of that show on Netflix? Black Mirror. Yes. She was in Black Mirror. But yeah, she was in that, so that's pretty cool. She's a really good actress, man. She was funny, she was snarky, you know, and at the same time she was serious in points, and she bounced off of Chadwick Boseman. They bounced off each other very well, being brother and sister, and that's pretty cool seeing their brother and sister dynamic that they had. So that's pretty cool. Those are my top 3 standouts. So who did you think?
Oh, Letitia Wright. What are those?
Yes, yeah.
She really did like steal basically every scene she was in. You know, that dynamic, that brother and sister dynamic, you definitely saw that, you definitely felt it, you definitely know that they cared for each other. And I mean, every time she came on the screen, it was just a light came on. Matter of fact, that's one of the great things about this. I'm actually just gonna give a shout out to the entire cast.
Yes.
Basically, this is one of the rare movies that when the main star wasn't on the screen, there was no drop off. Mm-hmm. Each one of those characters, you wanted to follow them. You wanted to see what their movie was gonna be. The other characters didn't even have to come back, and each time there was not a drop off, and that's very rare that you get a movie like that, especially with an ensemble cast like this. You're not talking about just, you know, 2 or 3 main side characters. Everybody's a main side character. And anytime that Black Panther wasn't on the screen, it didn't matter because the other people really was able to carry that movie. And that's just, it was amazing. I loved it all the way through. Michael B. Jordan as Eric Killmonger. I'm kind of like you. I thought his performance was a little bit of a roller coaster, more highs than lows. He is one of the most complex and most enjoyable Marvel villains that they have created up to this point. There's been some okay ones, however, but he is by far heads and shoulders beyond them. You actually, once he's explaining why he is doing what he's doing, you kind of get it. You may not support it, but you understand. And when things don't go his way, and this part of the review is going to be a non-spoiler review, you literally feel a little bit of pain. Now, you know, obviously, if he would have been successful, things would have been bad in so many different ways. But with that being said, though, when it didn't go his way, when it was all said and done, you felt a little bit of pain because you know what he went through. You know, it was actually like a little bit of a tearjerk moment.
All right. So now the director of this film is Ryan Coogler. You know, he directed Creed and, well, Fruitvale Station before Creed. So in the middle, I guess he was in the editing process when he was, or finishing up Creed when he got the call by Marvel, you know, to come down and talk about doing Black Panther, and, you know, to ask him what was his ideas and what would he, you know, do with it. So he told him, and then he basically got the job from that, pretty much from, you know, the work that he's done. So, you know, being a fantastic director, knocking films that he's done out of the park. And he knocked out of the park with this, to be honest. This is a fantastic superhero movie, one of the best superhero movies. In fact, one of the best Marvel movies. And I think it's pretty cool to see a up-and-coming director, you know, take this type of material, this budget, and actually, you know, who's never really, you know, dealt with special effects before, and to be able to come in without that type of background or whatever, and be able to do it and knock it out of the park is just amazing. So I thought Ryan Coogler did a fantastic job with everything that was on his plate. I thought he did an amazing job. How do you feel about Ryan Coogler?
100% agree. I mean, for this being, I guess, his third large-scale movie, Fruitvale Station, Creed, and this being his third one, I mean, this could have crushed a lot of other directors. As a matter of fact, I was reading online all over the place when he first was announced for this, that a lot of people was actually worried for him getting this part because they thought the weight of this and the studio and the pressure of the, you know, everything that's going to come along with this project might be too much for him, and he may not have been experienced enough to do it. So for it to come out this wonderful is extremely impressive. So the creation of Black Panther. Black Panther has actually been around for a couple of decades. He originated in the 1960s and has no connection to the Black Panther Party whatsoever. It actually, the comic book character Black Panther predates the Black Panther Party by a couple of months. Now, because of that name of the Black Panther Party and parts of society considering them basically a terrorist group, that Marvel, Jack Kirby, and thank you, Stan Lee, actually wanted to distance that name away from that comic character, away from that party, and so they actually did and changed its name, but basically they changed it right back to Black Panther. It's been Black Panther ever since. So when they created Black Panther, the reason that they both said they created Black Panther was that when they looked around their Marvel universe, they noticed they didn't have any black characters, you know, and nobody was a main focal point. The character run was all about them, and then that's when they decided to come up with Black Panther. And you know, he's been going strong ever since. He's been with a team member of the Avengers, Fantastic Four. He had his own standalone series. In that standalone series, he actually fought the Ku Klux Klan. One of the most amazing, if you don't know about it, go check it out. It's really interesting. He comes to the United States, falls in love with a woman, and basically is in the South, and the Ku Klux Klan is basically harassing her, and it just goes from there. So Black Panther versus the Klan, you know that's epic. So from there, he has a couple of costume changes. Again, a couple of different versions of Black Panther. Black Panther even married Storm in one particular section of the Marvel Universe. You know, they have the different realities or whatever. Then another section, well, he marries Storm, but things go horribly wrong. And it's just a really interesting character. He has a very deep history. He has a lot of, he's even beat Thanos as a character. He literally had the gauntlet.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how powerful Black Panther is. And the thing about Black Panther, it's not all about strength, it's a lot about intelligence. And a lot of times he outsmart his enemies, and that's how he beat Thanos. He basically outsmarted Thanos, was able to get the gauntlet and take care of business from there.
Action scenes in this movie I thought were done very well. You know, they were well shot, well choreographed. I thought they did a good job with it. But my biggest complaint with it was there are some that are like way too short. You know, you blink, you'll miss them. So that kind of sucks. But then there were some that were extended, so that was cool. So, and they didn't quite balance that right. You know, the ones that were extended, I thought they were done really well. But you wish the ones that were short were extended. You're like, oh, that would have been cool to have seen if that played out more rather than just going by so fast. So that's really my only complaint with that. But I don't want to give anything away, but there's one scene in particular, even though they showed it in the trailer, but I'm not going to give it away, that I thought was like the standout scene. So how did you feel about it?
I thought the action scenes were pretty good. They were fairly spread out through the movie. They had some big set pieces as far as action scenes go. Then they had some that was more intimate. My favorite ones were actually the more intimate ones. They were more personal, more brutal, more you just felt every punch, kick, and everything else that was going on in that. I really liked those. I was very happy with the action scenes overall, but there is something I do want to talk about, and that goes into the special effects. So let's go into the special effects. So
the special effects in this movie, they go from amazing to not good at all. Like it goes from like Avatar, like, oh, that looks incredible, to like something like the 90s. You're like, man, that's some rough CGI I got going on there. Like for example, with Black Panther is a guy in a suit and he's augmented with CG. That looks amazing. He's doing all his flips, running around. He's like, oh, that looks great. But then when he's completely CG and he's running around and jumping, you're like, ooh, that looks like, that's like I said, for something from the 90s. You're like, man, you couldn't have done that better. That looks terrible. Yeah, how'd you feel about the special effects?
As far as the special effects go, overall I was pretty happy with it, but you're right, there were some moments that were just brilliant and amazing, whether it was done in the background and showing the city or just a landscape, or in some of the action sequences, down to, well, not so great. The not so great ones, it really looked like it was just a really good video game going around. And I was actually been reading up on why, ever since Avatar, which seems to be that, I guess, one of a higher moment as far as CG goes, it still holds up pretty well to this day or whatever, why sometimes we see movies that have really good CG and the other ones not so much, or it can be spotty in a movie. Basically the industry just getting worked overtime, triple time, quadruple time. They just don't have enough time to do it, and they're basically getting put more and more on their plate and not getting the resources basically needed to do it. And some of these companies literally go out of business after a movie that literally brings in hundreds of millions of dollars, and the business that did all the CG work and all that kind of stuff goes out of business. It's a pretty bad situation.
Alright, so cinematography I thought was done very well. There's a lot of cool like sweeping shots of Wakanda and panning and left to right, things like that. Yeah, like the landscape shots of Wakanda are like mind blowing. Even though it's CG, it still looks amazing. You're like, man, that looks great. And obviously sometimes it's a set, but all of the cinematography was done very well. How do you feel about cinematography?
Cinematography is so beautiful in this movie. I can't wait to go to Uganda. I already got a passport, so I need to get that stamp. I need to talk to the Wakandan embassy, and so I can go ahead and get this thing started. Maybe even look at some dual citizenship, because I love me some United States. Wakanda is freaking amazing, and so I gotta get whatever I gotta get, some tattoos or whatever. Let me know, and I'm all about it. Alright, Wakanda again looks very beautiful. It's amazing. The city looks so lived in. It looks real. Even the parts where it's CG and sci-fi or whatever, it looks great. And when you're literally on the roads of Wakanda, and you look like you feel like you could go into that shop or go down that roadway or that alley, and there's something going on there. And that's the first time that I felt that basically in these Marvel movies, they just like set pieces of just background. This actually looks in a real lived-in place. Yeah. As far as the score and the soundtrack goes, enjoyed both of them. We've actually seen this movie twice, and I was digging the score right off the bat. I love the score. I thought it was amazing. The soundtrack, I liked it, but at the same time, I was kind of like, I don't know if this is gonna be something that like years from now it's gonna hold up. But and it's not gonna feel dated or anything. But then when I saw it again, I'm like, no, it's a good soundtrack. I like the soundtrack too. Yeah. So you?
Yeah, I agree. Everything he said was true. I like the soundtrack. I felt the same way he did. He's like, this may date it, but no, man, it flows, it works. When you see the movie, it doesn't take anything away from it. You're like, man, these songs fit and it works. Mm-hmm. Now the score, the whole score is amazing, but there's two, cues that I thought were the best that stand out, which is T'Challa's theme, and then Eric Killmonger's theme. T'Challa's theme, is African drums with like a trumpet type sound, and I thought that was pretty cool. I love his triumphant theme that they have. That's pretty cool. And then with Eric Killmonger, it's like hip hop theme mixed with like a modern day score or a orchestral score. Is that you said?
Yes.
Anyway, yes. So I thought how they blended those two together. I thought that was really cool for Eric Killmonger's theme. So I really like that.
I'm with you. One of them, and it just popped in my head while you were talking, that got me hyped up every time it happened. When the Black Panther's bodyguards, when they're getting into their fight scene,
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about getting hyped.
I love that. Yeah.
That music, when that came on, I'm just like, I'm looking for a spear. I'm jumping up and I'm finding some bad guy to go after. Got me hyped up every time. Really amazing. I definitely, as I'm trying to going to the gym and working out all that stuff, I'm gonna have that playing and just getting hyped up in there. They're like, what's wrong with him? I'm like, I'm in Wakanda.
Wakanda Forever.
Exactly. They could be like, Woodrow, calm down. I'm like, you're right. But yeah, got very hyped, very cool, very awesome. I do want to talk about, or at least acknowledge there's some controversies about this movie. I'm going to do a video on that just by myself, just kind of going through the different perspectives and my take and what I think about that. But it is definitely the giant black elephant in the room. And if you have, whatever your perspective on all this, if you are a fan of comics and you like Marvel, and you basically either at the movies or on video or whatever have watched all of them, and for whatever reason you don't want to watch this one, you're doing your own self a disservice, because this is not only a good comic book movie, it's not only a good Marvel movie, it's just a really good movie. One of the better all around solid movies of this type that we've seen in a very long time. And it's just like you are upset for whatever reason for the New Hope, and you decided you were not going to see New Hope back in the day. You missed out on an opportunity. I would have loved to have been basically born or of aged at that time to enjoy seeing that first Star Wars run. And this is the type of movie that people are going to be like, did you see this? And you're going to be like, no, I didn't. You know, it wasn't until 8-10 years later that I saw it. Oh, I never saw it. Don't be that guy. Don't be that woman. Go ahead and check it out. You'll enjoy it. And again, I will address some of the concerns and criticisms that people have, and you'll be able to get my perspective on it. Some of them may surprise you, some of it you may agree with, some of it you may not agree with at all. But I think you should check it out, and we'll talk about some things. It's ratings time here at Mom's Universe, and me and Tiberius went back and forth trying to figure out who was going to go first. So anyway, we did the Wakandan coin toss, and I won, baby. So with that being said, I really enjoyed this movie from the start to the end. Saw the movie twice, enjoyed it both times. With a little bit of things we talked about, where the CG was kind of dodgy in a couple of places and then amazing in others. And then with Eric Killmonger, his overall character, which was phenomenal. Eric B. Jordan, man, you knocked it out of the park. And those two little seconds when I kind of felt like, well, I'm not sure which one he's supposed to be right now. It just feels like a good actor coming through, but there's no, I can't tell which part of the character, which part of his psyche he's representing. Awesome balls. This is my first time giving an awesome balls to any movie, and that we revere here on Mom's, that we've watched here on Mom's Universe. And after seeing this movie, I'm 100% with that. Love this movie. Great all around. We will talk about spoilers in a different video, and I'll tell you why I'm so in love with this movie. But I really am. I came out of that movie proud, happy, excited. That's a lot of feelings that come out of just from a movie. A comic book movie at that. A fantasy movie at that. And but that's how I felt. And the movie lived up to the hype. That's a hard thing to do, because that bar was set mighty high. And for that movie to be able, for the most part, go over that bar and then some, that's pretty impressive to me. Tiberius?
Yes, I agree with everything Woodrow said, man. You know, the bar was set high for the movie to, you know, achieve that is just incredible. Like I said, we did have some problems, you know, the bad special CG, you know, some of the line delivery wasn't that great from certain characters. But other than that, man, this movie was amazing. I feel like this is the best Marvel movie probably ever. You know, no, it is. This is their best movie they've ever done. This pretty much is their crowning achievement. This is Marvel's Dark Knight. So, you know, DC has the Dark Knight, Marvel has Black Panther. And, Heath Ledger was the best villain that we've seen on screen. There hasn't been anybody until Eric Killmonger now. I feel like he is one of the best villains, and he can go, you know, toe-to-toe with the Joker. I feel like this movie can go toe-to-toe with the Dark Knight. I feel like this is the best superhero movie since that film. Better than anything Marvel or DC has done. So on both sides with those two films. So this movie is amazing. Go see it if you haven't seen it. What are you doing? So now for my rating. This is an awesome balls movie. I really love this movie. Love the score. Love everything about it. Go see it. It's freaking phenomenal.
Wow, 2 awesome balls. That's pretty doggone amazing. That's pretty doggone amazing. Well, world, once again, I'm Woodrow Cool Willis, and this is
Tiberius Jones.
And we are coming to you live from Wakanda.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Definitely don't do yourself a disservice and not check this movie out. Go see it and make a decision for yourself whether you like it or you don't. Tiberius, anything else?
Yeah, pretty much what he said. You know, if you don't want to see this movie, and you've seen every other Marvel movie, there's something wrong, because this is better than every other Marvel movie. So you need to go see it.
All right, world. But I'm Woodrow Cooper Willis.
I'm Tiberius Jones.
Love, like, subscribe, follow, check us out on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and everything else that we're on. We're basically on all the platforms. BitChute. I mean, we're all over the place. So definitely check us out. And we are very active when it comes to just watching videos. We both watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of other on the other platforms. So you might see us in your comment sections or whatever. So never feel free not to reply to what we're saying or check out our videos, because we're definitely checking out yours. And hey, and just come out and hang out with us on social media. It's a good time. So, world, thank you for joining us at Mom's Universe, and we definitely appreciate it. Later. All right, world. So I'm pretty excited about this tasty test. Matter of fact, both of us are really excited, and the reason we are excited because we've literally had this drink in our grubby little hands for like the last 3 to 4 months.